So first thing are measurements. You have to measure your eyebrows to see where you're going to pluck. So the first measurement you're going to do is the inside. Where should your eyebrows stop or begin actually? Okay, so to do that you take a stick like this. This is a cuticle stick, just anything that's straight like this and thin, and you're gonna put it at the end of your nose, run it through your tear duct, okay, over your tear duct, and technically, okay, this is where my eyebrow should stop, but it doesn't. Why? Because my eyes are rather far apart, okay? The ideal proportion is that there is the space of one eye between two eyes. That doesn't happen with my eyes, so I keep my eyebrows a little bit closer together, okay, to draw the attention to the center. Okay, if you have evenly spaced eyes, then you should follow the rule, and if you have your eyes are close together, you should slant this area out more, so it begins right on the line and then slants out, so it will separate your eyes. Second is, many people have doubts on where the arch of your nose, the outer corner of your nose. You're gonna go and think, looking straight ahead, you're gonna go through the half of your pupil, and where the stick hits, you see here, in my case, that's where the highest point of your arch should be. And last, to get the end of your eyebrow, okay, you start from the outer part of your nose, and then you get make a diagonal line to the outer corner of your eye, and there where it hits the eyebrow, that is where the eyebrow should end, which is right here in my case. Okay, anything that doesn't follow those lines you have to get rid of. Okay, now for cleanup you need tweezers. You could do threading, but that's really difficult, so I wouldn't suggest that unless you're very like careful and skilled. You need a pair of slanted tweezers, okay? And the most important thing is not to get carried away, so never use a magnifying mirror and go in layers. So the lower layers of my eyebrows hit me actually about here. You can't see them because they're blonde hairs, but they're there, okay? And so what you're gonna do is take the slant this way, and you're gonna slide it on so you get the hair down, and then you're gonna start pulling like this, but one hair at the time, okay, like this. You can pull either the opposite way of the hair growth or with the hair growth. It depends on the way it hurts less, really, okay? There is no rule for that. So you go like this, and you have to be careful to get the hairs from as close to the root as possible, because if you don't do that, they're gonna break. Okay, then for the upside here, it's really hard to go with the tweezer like this, so you get the tweezer like this, okay, and parallel to your, actually perpendicular to your face, you squeeze, and then you get the hairs out. Okay, now how do you clean up the arch? You need to go, as I said, in layers. First the bottom one, and you do the bottom one, then the second one, and then the third one, and so on and so forth until you reach your arch. You have to decide how thick your eyebrow is going to be based on how thick your eyebrows naturally are. If you have a forest up here, you cannot pretend to have thread thin eyebrows, because they're just going to look ridiculous and they're going to be a nightmare to maintain. So what you're going to do is get a stencil, okay? You find them at any drugstore, the shape you want, and then with a powder, with a powder eyeshadow or pencil or an eyebrow pencil, right, or something, you fill in this where the stencil goes, okay, and then you pluck everything that that stays outside of those limits. Very important is not to leave like a stair here, okay? It's very important that it goes smoothly all the way, which is why you have to start in layers. Second very important thing, once you have cleaned up the most of it, you have to start cleaning from the center out and then from the center in. That way you won't get much of the hair that's here that you want to keep. Okay, once you're starting to get closer to the arch, you have to be very, very careful. Again, like we did up here, you hold your tweezer like this and you go, or like this, being very careful of not damaging anything you've done before or you haven't touched. Now, you keep it up until you have a clean line. Be very careful not to do this, because if you do this, you're very, very likely to get bald patches over your eyebrows. Also, try not to touch the line over here, because usually that doesn't bother anyone, unless it's like really, really hairy. Next is the inside part, okay? And you may also have little hairs here. Just if they bother you, just twist them out like normal, okay? Then for the center here, you just follow what you did on here. You start from the outermost hairs, okay? And you go, and you take them out. You can pull downwards, upwards, it all depends on you. Okay, now that this is done, a few last remarks and let's summarize all of it. First, you have to measure. Measuring is really important when you're doing your eyebrows. Second is method. You have to be very, very methodical. You have to start from the bottom layer of the bottom row of hairs you find on your eyebrows, okay, and go the way up until halfway when you've reached the thickest part of them. Then you have to start from the middle, from the arch out, and then from the arch in, so you don't take away in this part any more hair than necessary. Third is the upside, actually the outside here. Just clean up a few of the darkest hairs. If you can't really see them like up close on the mirror, or you have to get like really, really close to see them, chances are nobody else can see them either, so don't touch them. Up here, don't touch the hairs unless they're really, really obnoxious and get in your face. Third, fourth, fifth is the inside here, okay? You measure and you clean it up. One thing I will recommend to you though is if you have really thick eyebrows like a unibrow, or very, very hairy eyebrows or long eyebrows that get everywhere and you have really, really long little hairs, I recommend getting them done professionally at least once. And go to a very, very good beauty salon or ask around, see your friends who have nice eyebrows, tell them where they get theirs done, okay? Ask around, do your research. Be very sure of the place you're going to be going to. Okay, so that's my advice. I hope this tutorial has been helpful, and if you have any questions, leave comments. Please rate us and subscribe. After this tutorial, there is gonna be at least one look. I think the Chanel Pre-Fall 2007 dinner look. So look out for that one, and I'll see you soon. Bye.